Welcome, Pullin fans. Ron Stone here with Outlawed Live. Having some technical difficulties here with the audio here and the lighting, but we get things straightened up here. Last show before the last pull of the season, the last preview show, I should say, for Draggin Pullin in the Pines, Lufkin, Texas, this Friday and Saturday, 17th and 18th. We are pumped for this event. Got a couple special guests on tonight. We've got Dan Meyer coming on tonight. He'll be joining me for the announcing this weekend. Be joining me in the announcing booth as we did last year for Draggin Pullin in the Pines. And we'll also have Case and Petch on. I sent a few invitations out to some pullers tonight, but believe it or not, a lot of pullers are preparing and getting ready, getting all their work done this week so they can spend the big weekend there in Lufkin, Texas at Draggin Pullin in the Pines. Welcome, everyone. Mike Idle may not be here. He's got some work obligations he had to deal with tonight, so he may pop in here later on in the show. But we're going to do the best we can to keep things rolling here. Going to bring Dan in here in just a few minutes. And then we got Case and Petch waiting in the wings here. Of course, he leads the points in the modified tractor division. And see if I can play with my lighting here just a little bit. See if I can get that to work the way it's supposed to. So put your comments in there. Let us know who you're rooting for this weekend. Let us know if you're going to be watching, if you're going to be watching in person or watching live on Full Pull live this weekend. Huge show. Right now we're looking at 53 hooks, and now that's just what's signed up on the app. Not all pullers are big on the app just yet, but 53 so far signed up. So let me see if I can change the background. Maybe that's what's going on here. Go to visual effects and see. Well, I don't know what's happening here with. It's usually not like that, but is that better? That's a little better. I need to get my green screen behind me to make it work, but let's try this one again. There we go. So we'll try to stay on top of the comments tonight. Chris Kilbarger checking in from the Buckeye State. Dick Blankenspore always watching. Super fan Dick Blankenspore watching from Inwood, Iowa. Ham Boys Racing Toys. Mark Ham watching. One of our awesome photographers out there, provides a lot of pictures and photographs, not only for the pullers, for the fans on social media, but also for the pullers themselves out there. Zook Fukerberg, that's Doug Voth. For those of you that don't tune in every Tuesday night, says he's rooting for Griffin Grow. How's that coming along, Doug? Is it ready to go, or is it going to be another 5 o'clock in the morning Friday deal this year? Let us know how you're coming with the old Griffin Growl there. Cole Lundahl checking in. Where are y'all watching from this weekend? You're going to be watching on the live stream channel Full Pull Live, or are you going to be watching in person? The Sullivans are not going to make it this year. Though if you have looked at the app, we have a brand new two-wheel, or not a brand new modified tractor coming. That's Dave Richardson out of Kentucky, the tag team, brand new 2-engine mod coming this weekend. So Tina and Eric Berger watching from Wilbur, Nebraska. Chris Kilbarger says, go Griffin Growl. There you go, Doug. You got a new fan already here. It's going to be watching this weekend. So this is the 11th running of the Draggin Pullin in the Pines there in Lufkin, Texas. If you didn't know, it is a benefit event for our veterans, Mission 22 and the Wyken Foundation, Wyken Warrior Foundation. 100% of the proceeds go to those two awesome charities. So if you haven't been there, put it on your bucket list. It's an awesome event. Always good weather, though I heard something about possible rain a little bit. I know I looked before and it said Saturday morning was a possibility. Let's check that out again here. You can never trust the weather, man. He's trying to predict the future here. Let's see. Yeah. Chances of rain Saturday morning, I think, but I don't think anything. Maybe a little chance there around 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that. But yeah, doesn't look like anything too threatening there. Doug Voth took off the tank. took off tank and loaded it up. So hopefully we'll get to see that tractor in all its glory there. If you've never seen that tractor, it's the only one, at least I know in the United States, running a Rolls-Royce Griffin, World War II fighter plane and bomber plane engine from World War II, an English-built, British-built engine. So pretty cool, like almost 2,400 cubic inches, twin turbos on it. Just had all the cams reground on it. The cams were wrong. He's had a lot of trouble with it this summer, but hopefully we get to see that thing in all its glory this weekend. There you go, Doug, building some fans here. So we got Dan Meyer waiting in the wings here. Looks like he's fresh out of makeup. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Dan, the voice Meyer, on here right now. Dan, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, good, Ron. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Pumped up for this weekend. How about you?
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to get back. That was an outstanding pull last year, and can't wait to get down there Thursday night and ready to go Friday and Saturday. It'll be fun.
Yeah, not only is it an awesome event, but the proceeds all go to veterans charities, which, man, that's right up my alley. It's very patriotic, and I love these kind of events.
Oh, I love events that are tiered around that, that, all the proceeds go to something, and it's just great. I love when events are involved like that. And, let's talk about the history of this event. I mean, just a couple of years, but it just, from what you guys are telling me, just every year just gets bigger and bigger.
Keeps getting bigger and bigger. The crowd just keeps getting bigger and bigger here. This is the 11th running, Dan, and talking to the promoters there, Ronnie Kelly and Josh Birch, those guys said when they first started this, the tractor pull was just kind of a little side event. They had just a handful of tractors pulling, and now this is a big time pull. I mean, this is huge. I mean, people have heard about this pull not only nationally but around the world. It's gained a lot of attention.
Yeah, and it's a totally unique setup. It kind of reminds me of the Benson setup, where you have the drag strip and then you've got the pulling track off to the side kind of deal. And and then I love the concert at the end of the show. That's pretty cool too. So they kind of the promoters there have really done their homework, and what a great event. I just, like you say, can't wait to get back down there and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's there's a little something there for everyone. I mean, especially if you're into motorsports, if you're into country music, if you're patriotic, which I think, talking about that, I think our sport, truck and tractor pulling, the greatest sport on planet Earth, goes hand in hand with patriotism, with, pride in our country. I think they're one and the same there. So it makes for a great event when you can combine the two. But this event, all the way from the bubbles, what do they call it? The Suds party they had for the kids with the music, the country concert, the truck and tractor pull 2 nights, semis drag racing on a drag strip, truck show, car show, all the food vendors, all the vendors that are there. This year they're adding a tug of war contest and a burnout contest. I don't know. Have you ever seen an 18-wheeler do a burnout, Dan?
I have a couple times. Actually, I was years ago when I was involved with the Empire State Group there in Western New York. We used to do an event up in Fergus, Ontario, which was about from my house about an hour and a half, and that was a big truck show up there. And I had the opportunity to see some big rigs up there doing burnouts, and that's pretty cool. But you were telling me with the drag racing, I think it was last year they didn't do the loaded drag racing like they'd done previous.
Right. They'd done the loaded before, and with the weight and them using the brakes in the shutdown area, it was damaging the shutdown area in the asphalt. So the track put the nix on that and said, we can't do that anymore. So it's all running without weight. So yeah, I mean, it kind of stinks, but yet it's still good to see semis drag racing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Watching them down there during the day, and that's the best part about this event. Is an all day and all night event. Come out and spend the day, and there's like you said, there's plenty of stuff to do. And the town of Lufkin, not too awful far from there, there's all kinds of hotels and places. Yeah, it's not right out in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty decent sized town right there.
Pine Valley Speedway there, new owners there. They've made some improvements, Dan. They said they've actually taken out some more trees, leveled some areas out for more parking, more camping spots for those folks out there that are interested. They put in all new lighting in the pit area there. So they have made some serious upgrades to the track. It was already a great facility. But yeah, like you said, you get there in the morning, you can stay busy with activities all day and all night and leave at midnight and have a full day. Just a great event down here.
Yeah, I like the thing that I wasn't used to was last year they had the side by sides that were all jacked up and then everybody parked on the opposite side of the grandstands, right up against the fence there, the guardrail, and that was quite the party they had going on over there. I know they were into it over there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I told Ronnie last night, I was on Let's Grow Pulling, and I said they need to have a separate competition for the largest side by side. They're literally monster side by sides down there, with sound systems better than some concerts I've been to. But they literally, in the parking area, like you said, they have the grandstands on one side, and they have where you can back pickups on the other side. And those side by sides, they just pull in behind the pickups and they look right over the top of them. They're so tall. So only in Texas, man. Only in Texas.
Yeah, that was, and it's kind of like the return road back to the pits for the pullers. Some of them went out there, and it was pretty tough to get around through there. So kind of actually reroute them out in front of the grandstand to bring them back. But yeah, no, that was pretty awesome. That was really cool.
So I've got to, I tried to get some guests on tonight, Dan, but you know what? Everybody's busy. They're either in the field trying to get the harvest in before the pull this weekend, or they're working on their stuff. So I was able to get Case and Petch. I think he's still he looks like he might be at home. I was gonna say, I thought maybe he was in his dorm room, but it looks like he might be home here. So let's go ahead and bring him on. He actually is leading the points right now in the modified tractor division. Right now would be his first time winner if he can pull this out. 16 points ahead of veteran puller Cameron Neves and last year's champion Cameron Neves there. He seems to be the closest. Now, I think he would have to make a huge mistake here for 2 nights in a row to get behind here, but he's sitting in the driver's seat right now. Let's go ahead and bring him on. If I can, there, I got that done there. I'll pull that comment off there. And there he is, Kaysen Petch. Kaysen, what's up, buddy?
Not much. You guys?
Doing well.
Doing well. Good. Man, I thought you might have been in your dorm room or something. Looks like you're home.
Yeah, well, we're on fall break. I had to run some stuff back to the dorms today, and then, well, instead of going back to class Wednesday, I'm going to Texas.
Yep, I recognize the room you're in from doing the Zoom meetings with your pops there. I recognize the paint and the pictures on the wall. So tell us about your season here, going into the last 2 hooks of the year. You're in the driver's seat, man. How's it feel?
It feels pretty good. I'm a little nervous going into this weekend, but I think we'll be just fine. Yeah, let's see. I guess I could start back at Ravenna. All we really changed for this year is we put a new set of shoes on it, put Mitas tires on it, and from the get-go in Ravenna, that tractors love that set of tires. I think within the first 50 feet of that run, I knew they were going to work. They were going to work well for us this year. Then went out to Cambridge, Illinois that next week. Or no, that was 2 weeks later, I think.
Yep.
And took my first career win out there, and that's what put me in the lead in the points. So been leading it since the second week out.
Yeah, the tires made a big difference. That thing, when it hooks, the front end it sticks up there, Dan. And he just, if he keeps it straight, I mean, it's hard to beat that tractor this year.
Now I'm going back now. Was that tractor, was it last year when you guys added the second turbine to it, or is it then? Okay, it was. Okay. So when we saw it last year at Lufkin, it was pretty much you guys had just done that. Hadn't you just brought it out not too early or before that?
We had it out there at Ravenna last year.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep. It ran a full season last year, but we just fought it. So.
Okay. That's what, okay.
Seemed like last year, and particularly at Lufkin, I think, it's having some issues with it pulling really hard to one side.
I remember it went to the right real
yeah. Well,
okay.
Those pro pullers with the turbines, they just balloon up really, really bad. And they could lock to the ground, but as soon as you touch a brake, one side, depending on which brake you hit, was going to balloon up and it's going to shoot you off to one way or the other.
Gotcha.
And then,
okay,
yeah, last year in Lufkin was not a good showing for us. So hopefully we're gonna change that this year.
Well, you've got a 16-point lead over the defending points champion. That's got to feel pretty good. I don't know with the drops and everything. I haven't done all the math on that because, Dan, with the Outlaws, depending on how many hooks you get 1 or 2 or even 3 drops if there's enough hooks, mulligans, if you will. So I don't know how that would play out if you had a really bad hook here, if it was one that you would drop. But you're in the driver's seat, man. I mean, this is yours for the taking this weekend.
Yeah. Still got to do good, but I'm comfortable with that 16-point lead right now. But Cameron's a good driver. I've watched him my entire life growing up. So
he struggled a little bit this year. I have to say one of the last hooks there at Buckner, I think it actually was the last hook for the class, wasn't it, at Buckner?
Yeah.
In early September. Wow, he had a monster pass there. I mean, it seemed like he found what he was looking for.
Yeah, that was one of those. He was first hook in the class, or right up there, and I was towards the bottom in our class. If you want a shot at it, you want to be earlier in the class. So I just told my grandpa I was going to have it on kill and hope I had it in one piece on the other end, and came up a little bit short on him. So I couldn't complain with that pass.
That's about the maybe just a little bit lower in the front, but that's about what, when it pulls up like that and sticks up there, you know you're on a good pass right there.
Yeah, that was probably a little higher than what we'd like, but it'll go up there and it'll kind of set back down. And it'll just hang there.
So this is your 3rd season as
Yeah.
a driver, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember you did 1 season with the single, then last year with the twin, right?
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. 'Cause I remember you were in Colorado. I remember you pulled at one in Windsor, Colorado there. So what are the keys to getting it done this weekend? Have you actually pulled on the Lufkin track yet?
I haven't, no.
You haven't? Okay.
This will be my first trip down there.
That's right. Your dad drove it last year. So has your dad clued you in, given you any advice on this track?
No, and last year for us it was kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
The tractor was not our friend last year, but I guess my plan is just go out and do what I've been doing all year.
So Grandpa's coming along, right?
Yep. Me,
Good
Dad,
deal.
and Grandpa.
Good. Did you get to meet Fred last year, Dan?
Yes, I did actually, and I talked to Fred a couple times during the summer. Saw him at the Pullers Championship, and then saw him at Rock Valley too for a little bit there. So yeah, I got a chance to actually we had a really good talk over there at the Pullers Championship, and we were talking about some old stuff, of course.
Yeah,
and it was pretty cool to finally meet up with him and talk with him there for a little bit, and that was pretty neat.
Of course, the Petches are a pulling family. You know, we're talking about Fred, which is Case's grandfather, longtime puller, longtime outlaw announcer, and then Kyle, which is Cason's dad, longtime puller, and now is the COO of the Outlaws and the IT guy. We lean on him a lot for IT. He's out golfing right now, isn't he, Casey?
No, I think he's probably just sitting out in the living room. I kind of kicked him out of his office.
I thought Tuesday night was golf night for him, so it's kind of hard to get him on the show. Maybe that thing is over for the year, but yeah, Mark Hams is phenomenal family. They're phenomenal pulling family. Wow, I forgot about this, Dan. I need to make a wardrobe change here before
I've got a picture here.
Yeah.
And the final approach here. This is from '98 in Lincoln, Nebraska. And what's the story on this one here? I'd like to.
So, if my memory serves me correct on the story on that tractor, that was a tractor they bought out of Colorado, and that was our first turbine that we had. It was a T53 L1 800 horse. So, actually, I think the first time my dad ever drove that tractor, I think he ended up rolling it. I think that was in Gibbon, Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that was our first turbine, and actually
some semblance of a roll bar there behind his head.
And the shields for that tractor actually we still have today too.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Hanging in the shop, I assume.
What was that?
Hanging in the shop, I assume, or?
No, they're sitting down in one of our storage buildings.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So when did the name change come?
In 2003.
Okay.
We built the first Thermal Thunder, and then that got the bigger T53 in it. So that was about the time I think we kind of started to run with Outlaws too.
Okay. Yeah, you can tell the old late 70s, early 80s influence there, the high center of gravity, and definitely it's got that look to it. But I came across that the other day, and I'm like, I have to mention that. But
yeah, I had a picture. I was looking for a picture earlier today, kind of run out of time, Case, and I had a picture of you and your dad and your sister. And you and your sister were just tiny things with I think you're sitting with a tractor behind you. And I had that picture for a long time, and I lost it today. I've been having some computer issues, so I would have had that on here.
I think I know the picture you're talking about.
Yeah. I changed my hat for this comment. Dan,
I was just gonna. Yep. We've got our typical midseason slump. That's we're subject right now. We'll just move on to the next subject.
Hopefully, we're pulling out of our slump right now. So.
Yeah. You guys look pretty good there. We got the showdown here in a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, that's right. We come to Buffalo.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks there, and get our act together here in 2 weeks. So hopefully things are good to go.
Yeah, get all that stuff out of the way before the big games come up. But who's been the biggest influence on you, Kaysen, in pulling?
Well, definitely the guys that I've been competing against this year, Donald and Cameron. Watched those guys my entire life. Obviously, I got my dad and grandpa as well. There's a lot of influencers out there for me. Can't name them all. There's a lot. Pretty much the entire mod class I've competed against this year.
So who do you think's having more fun when you're out there driving, you or your grandpa?
He's been having a blast watching it. I know he was real excited after the pass in Ravenna. So he was a little nervous when I backed out of it. He goes, "What happened?" I'm like, "Those tires worked." That's what happened.
Scared you a little bit, or
I saw that wall at the end of that track coming up on me fast, and I'm like, "We're just gonna shut it down here."
I remember that now because Fred was on the left side of the track there at the end, and I wondered if you were getting too close to the side there, and you thought, "Oh, I don't want to hit Grandpa over here," so you backed out of it. So it seemed like.
Okay, so here's 2004. So this would have been a year after the debut of the Thermal Thunder, then.
Yep.
Okay. I could see the tube chassis there. Is that? Do you guys remember who built that, or was that your guys? Or
Arlo Pulmeisel out of Crete, Nebraska, built that for us.
Okay. Very cool.
And he's done a lot of work for our chassis. He did the welding when we narrowed the frame up on this new twin setup. So he's done a lot of work on our chassis for us and does good work.
Good deal. Yeah, it's good to see the turbines, run so competitively out there, and had a ball out in Rock Valley with watching them out there. And boy, actually, I think the first night there was turbines 1 and 2, I thought.
Yeah, had the lead for a little while in there, and then, well, I knew Cody Barons had me beat before he even left the line. He had some RPMs when he left.
Yeah,
and then the next night, well, wasn't a good night, but respectable for where we were at in the class lineup.
Now, are we going to see Dad George piloting the Cotton Candy again this weekend, or is that a maybe?
I don't know. Okay. I bet Cameron has the wheel both nights.
You think? Okay.
I'm betting. I could be wrong, but I reached out to Cameron before the show, see if we could get him on for a little bit, and he was out of town. So I don't know. I'm assuming that Cameron's probably going to try his best to get as close as he possibly can to the case in here and make it interesting. So get some of the comments here. Case Conover, of course, he's from Texas. He says he will be in Lufkin Marty Samuelson, super fan, said he forgot it was Tuesday. No harvest today with the rain. Good luck. Kaysen Petch at Lufkin. So what is that sound I'm hearing there? Sound like you're watching a game show, Dan. What's?
Oh, it's my phone keeps going off here.
It literally sounds like somebody got a wrong answer.
It's usually when my wife texts, that's what comes up there. The Price is Right. So I usually mute that, but I can hear it going off here. I'm like, must be something important. But
maybe you had recorded The Price is Right and you were just catching.
Yeah, no, that's I don't know. Somebody set that up on my phone. It's been there, so yeah.
So Dan, what's your biggest takeaway from we're previewing the pull here, Draggin Pullin in the Pines in Lufkin, Texas. What's your biggest takeaway last year that stood out to you about the event?
I think just the fan interaction. I think was the part to me that really. I mean, Pullin fans in Texas. You've seen it over the years and followed it. And I mean, shoot, they used to pull in the Astrodome there for many years. They packed the place, so they've really had a passion for pulling. And here we are, what is it, a couple hours north of Houston, and, they come out in groves both days and, they're really into it. And I couldn't believe how many people came out during the afternoon to get their seats and sat there, and that was pretty cool. So that was one of the biggest takeaways out is the fans, just a great bunch of fans down there and a great event.
Yeah. In Missouri and Nebraska and Iowa, places, up north, we see fans come out and they'll set their chairs out there. They'll put tape up. They'll tape blankets to the bleachers to save their spot, and they'll leave. In Texas, no, they come about 3 o'clock in the afternoon and they sit there and just wait. They're not trusting that any object or a blanket or tape is going to protect their seat. They stay there. You can remind them, but no, they want to protect those seats. So they're pretty dedicated fans down there.
Yeah, that was, the biggest thing that I took away from the event. And, and just really the folks behind it really were, 100%, asking the pullers and everybody involved with, hey, what could we do to make this better? And it's just, everybody working together and putting on a great event. That's, and that's what it takes. And
yeah, the two promoters down there, Ronnie Kelly and Josh Birch, they're business owners and they spend a lot of money of their own money on this event. They literally, put their own money on the line out there, and they believe in the charities. And like he said last night on Let's Grow Pulling, Ronnie said that it just started out as a customer appreciation event and kind of morphed into this a charitable event for our veterans, and the fans just keep coming and they tell more people and then they tell more people and they keep expanding and taking trees out and expanding pit area and RV spaces. And every year it seems like, they're getting asked for, we need more parking, we need more RV spots. So good problem to have. And
exactly. Yep.
They've got some great owners of the drag strip now there, the whole facility. So it looks like we're good to go, hopefully for many years to come. And like I told him last night, I said, I think in a year or two, this could go to a 2-track event. It has the potential for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And, the fans, like I say, you've got your grandstand side, you got your, back up your side-by-sides and your pickups on the other side. And, it was just a sea of people over there on the other side that were, hanging out there having a good time. And the weather, you can't beat the weather too. It's, it's middle of October down in Texas. It's, real nice down there. So that's,
there is a chance for
nice
rain
weather up here, but it gets cool at night. But down there,
yeah,
it was pretty nice. So
super nice weather in October down there. A little chance of rain. Looks like maybe early in the day in the morning on Saturday. Looks like it's not going to be much to worry about. It's usually, knock on wood, usually awesome weather down there. Like you say, set up for a cool night runs there, and that those turbines like it when it's nice and cool out, don't they, Kaysen?
Yeah, they do.
I know I talked to your grandpa about that a little bit, and he said in dyno, the temperature made a huge difference. They don't like the heat. They sure like it when it's cool. They make more power. So should be a great time. So when you pull up there to the line, Kaysen, who do you think's the biggest threat to you? Is there anybody you have in mind, or is it just the whole class?
The whole class is very competitive. at this point in the season, Cameron, he's the threat. He's got a good running tractor, so he's about the only threat I see right now. So then next year it'll be the entire class. This entire class is just very competitive.
The only one you're worried about is Cameron right now. That's the
right now, yeah.
So let me see if I can pull up a couple of passes from last year. I'm not sure if I have your pass on here or not, Kaysen, but maybe some of the competition here from last year. Here we go. Here's some modified action.
Are you ready here tonight? Time points champion just a few years back, Craig Ulmer and Sweet Pain.
So I don't know if you notice anything about those two passes, Case, and where they were at on the track. It seemed like the right side of the track last couple of years has been the favored line. So just so you know, this year we've got a disc out there. We're going to disc it a little deeper and churn that dirt up a little more. There is a lot of clay in that dirt, but usually, like last year before, seemed like the earlier passes, sometimes the first pass was the one that got it done, with the exception of Cody Yarrick. In pro stock last year, Dan, he came out, was the last hook in the class, and we thought, he doesn't have a chance. And Holsworth was out there in front, and Yarrick just blew by.
That was a monster. Yeah, that was a good one. That was probably one of the passes of the year. And I just started doing my homework here on the modified class here a little bit, and 8 different winners this year on the Outlaws. That's pretty impressive. And one thing that stands out to me is Don Nelson, just 1 win. That's something that you don't see too often. So yeah, that was kind of looking at some different things here, and just starting to look. And that's what you like to see, though. You like to see good competition. Nobody really established any dominance this year. Last year, Cotton Candy Neves, I mean, he won 8 hooks. That's a dominant performance. I think Kaysen has the most wins this year. How many wins do you have, Kaysen?
3 or 4.
I got 3, right?
Yeah, there's nobody really super dominant as far as wins go. And we had a lot of pullers come from different areas that don't usually pull with us. We had Russell Phipps out of Illinois, Wayne Bunnage out of Illinois.
Steve Bollinger took a win.
Bollinger, yep. Of course, the Kentuckian, Donnie and Wayne Sullivan come out and pulled with us some this year. He will not make it this weekend. I was actually texting with him a little bit here during the show, but I think they're planning on making a few hooks with us next year, though. That's cool. Yeah, that'll be and talking to Wayne Bunnage there the last couple weekends, and he said he loves running with him, that weight, and he doesn't see himself going down to that 62. He says, I like that 74, and the funniest thing he was talking about that new modified is he says, I don't have to grind any more damn tires. He says, we're done with that. So with them minis, he says, that's all you ever have to do. He says, so I'm done with that. I'm having fun, he says. So let me pull that run up from Cody Yarrick last year. This was the last hook in the class. And like I said, early hooks had won it. He was the last hook. I didn't think he had a shot, Dan. I don't know what you were thinking. I thought this pretty much done, but this was a walk-off win for him.
Right side kind of hurt him there. He was fighting that white line all the way down. Here tonight, going to spot that sled here a little bit left of center. They've been kind of working this spot. And I would imagine try to drive it up, just like we saw Mr. Holsworth as he got an unbelievable hole shot. He got that sled moving really quick. That's what it's going to take. So that chicken down there, he's getting a little bit he's getting wound up.
He's getting a little cocky, I think. Pun intended there. Getting a little cocky. That chicken is talking about race and the other chicken. Kurt Van Beek, the owner of the Outlaws. I can't believe he's going to do it, but here we go. Cody Yarrick, Rich Hill, Missouri, gone.
in.
Pulls back on the throttle, coasts the sled past the Schaefer oil barrel.
Man, oh man, fans, let's give a nice round of applause. Your winner, your points champion, everything but the kitchen sink here tonight, Cody Yarrick.
373.78 at 34 miles per hour. The Cody Yarrick had gone. That is what we call a walk-off win, ladies and gentlemen. Last puller in the class wins the thing. Awesome. We'll give you the final rundown here in just a moment.
Yeah, kind of gave me goosebumps just watching it again. It was
I'm ready. Now, Pro Stocks, what we got the Wagers in a tie, right, for the number one spot there?
Yeah, pretty tight. The Wagers actually, the father and son, Lacey and Caden, they would have been on the show tonight, but they had some irrigation problems, electrical problems. They're out working late tonight. But, if you look at the standings here, and I wish I had the graphic to put up, but I don't. But, they're tied for the lead, and Yarrick is within striking distance, a lot closer than in the modified class. I think it's 6 points. Let's see here. Yes, 6 points. Yarrick, two-time defending points champ here. He's going to lay it all on the line down there. And the Wagers, of course, those guys are rookies. Rookie season. They're tied for the lead. Greg Jaeger, he's only a couple more points back. So there's 4 tractors there. Any one of those 4 tractors could win that Pro Stock points this weekend.
And that's all you can ask for is, it's coming down to the final event and, everybody's got a shot there. If, taking a championship, that's also two-wheelers, right? Two-wheelers isn't Don Nelson. It's going to be a Don Nelson truck, just a matter of which one it's going to be.
That's right. He's got a pretty comfortable lead. Nelson, the little whip, I may have the graphic for that here. Let's see what we got. It might be current. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. There's your super modified two-wheel drive points. Donald Nelson in the driver's seat. Either way you look at it there, the little whip or whip it. And Dustin Corliss may be driving one of those vehicles. He's been driving one of them this year as well as one of the tractors. But Trevor Fitzsimmons, Tim Fitzsimmons drives a Country Heat. About 18 points back. That's hard to overcome. That 18 points. If there were more points runners running in there may be a chance. But as good as those trucks run, I imagine they're all 3 of those are going to be up in the top 5 or 6. So Donald Nelson more than likely going to get him a top spot there and probably a runner-up spot there in super modified two-wheel drive this year. Let's see, I had modified. Limited Pro diesel pickups is another one. That one's pretty close too, Dan. Had both those guys on last night. Had them on at the same time on Let's Grow Pulling. I thought that was cool. They like to give each other a hard time, but always comes down to this pull, and this is probably the one time that one or the other's got a little more cushion as far as the points difference. So you got 9 points. Can he overcome it? Yeah, because we got a big class of diesel pickups, so it's possible. But Leaper, that's kind of his track down there.
Right, yeah. Last year he was impressive. How does with the Outlaws? He's got to be a member to get the points, or how does that work?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're not in points, let's say you just jump over that position as far as points go.
Okay.
First place gets a 1-point bonus, so you get 28 for first, 26 for second. And then you just skip. Let's say if second place, somebody that wasn't a member got second. The third place hook was a points runner. It would still get 26 points. So
okay.
So the non-points runners can't interfere with how the points are. So because they don't get any kind of points value for their run. So we probably need to showcase in the most important competition run from last year. Do you remember this, Dan? Kaysen, did you see this on?
And here we go. They're underway. Cheer 'em on. Let's go. The big chicken. He's in the lead. They're coming. 300 feet. Here we go.
Hey, guys, Robin's racing. Robin's racing. Just saying.
Oh, the big chicken. He's got him. Oh. Oh, no. Oh.
Oh, no.
All right.
Yeah, Schultz went down. I do remember that.
I remember watching that one on the live stream.
Schultz run out of juice there at the end, and
Yeah, he was gassed. He was upping. That was great. That was a fun time down there. Yeah, can't wait to do it again. I hope hope Mother Nature gives us a break and we're good to go. Weather's been pretty good here the last half of the season, so hopefully we can get all the rest of the pulls in here and head on into banquet season.
What a crazy year, Dan! In your travels this summer, were you guys plagued with rainouts and?
Yeah, actually we had, we lost Fort Recovery both nights, on the NTPA side, that was rained out. And then I had, Rockwell, it rained like 5 inches the week of that event. And then when we got there on Thursday, it was, the track was all spongy and, that was, and then, lost, Saturday afternoon up in Hillsborough, PPL show up there. And then I think after that, it was, there wasn't, and like Bowling Green this year, there wasn't even a chance. And, after Hillsborough there, it was smooth sailing. Well, knock on wood. It was smooth sailing for the rest of the year, I thought. But early on, it was pretty touch and go.
Yeah, it was more rainouts. This is my 6th year with the Outlaws, and more rainouts this year than any other season that I've been announcing with the Outlaws. So catching up on the comments here, Marty Samuelson saying good luck to the Jagers. Greg Jager, he's from out there in Hazard, Nebraska, out there close to Ravenna. Let's see, Chris Kilbarger checking in here. Hey, BJ says Chiefs are good to go here. Marty Samuelson, wondering if I'm singing. Not on the big stage, Marty. Not on the big stage. It was a possibility this year. Just kind of getting my band back together. So never know. Might pick up a guitar and sing a little bit if I bring it with me. But a lot of stuff going on down there. Hardly any time for that business.
That's right. There. Yes, we have the cookout on Friday night.
Right.
I still I tell everybody I've never seen a fried chicken leg as big as I saw them in Texas. That and I ain't lying. I'm taking a picture of one this year.
We got to get. But not only had chicken legs, but they had other fried items over there too. Case, and you'll have to head over there to where Don Nelson and I see Marty shaking his head. No, I think he knows what I'm talking about.
I didn't go down that route. I know a couple of guys. I know Donnie Sullivan tried them, Schultz tried them, but I was not yet. I was good with the chicken legs. So.
What do you think, Kaysen? Would you man up and try it, or?
Yeah, maybe.
What are those called? I have prairie fries or mountain oysters.
Didn't they call them like Rocky Mountain something or?
Oh yeah, like mountain oysters.
Something like that. Yeah, they had to take a few more Busch Lights, I think.
Yeah, maybe some liquor. Maybe.
The Busch Lights weren't helping it with it, so we might have to try something else to try them. But
I think I actually tried one day, and I think they talked me into it.
I thought I remember you trying one. I thought I remember there was a couple that tried them.
Yeah, those chicken legs were good.
Oh, I'm ready again. Like I said, I've never seen a chicken leg that big, and they say everything's bigger in Texas. They were good.
The chicken's on steroids down there. Yeah. Kevin Davis says keep it in bounds at Wayne next year, Case, and that's.
I go back and I watched that replay on the live stream. Those tires hooked pretty much from the get-go, and I was screwed pretty much from the time I took off. I was all over that brake, couldn't keep it in.
Mash it on the brake, huh? Yeah, Chris Kilbarger says they are a delicacy, Dan. So
okay, well,
yeah, pay big money for those in some countries. So
they were plentiful. I know they were plentiful down there.
Yeah. Jeremy says they are called Rocky Mountain oysters. Yeah, I've heard prairie fries, but I think that's lamb testicles or something. So, he says they're great. Well, Kaysen, we won't keep you on here any longer, buddy. Anybody you want to thank for your awesome season here so far?
I gotta thank Dad, Grandpa. Gotta thank them, and then, all the sponsors of the Outlaws, because if it wasn't for them, well, we wouldn't be able to go pulling. So got to get a shout out to them. A lot of people to thank. It's hard to thank them all in a short period of time. So
is the whole crew coming down this week, or
what was that?
The whole crew coming down this week?
Just me, my dad, and so.
Okay.
I did have one more question though.
Ask away.
Your sister, I hear she's kind of chomping at the bit to drive the tractor. Is this true?
Yeah, she's been wanting to drive it for a while. I was helping Greg Rasty out there in Buckner, and he goes, well, if she wants to drive it, she can. I'm like, well, I'm sure she'll be all over that one. Start her on a smaller mod before we throw her on 2 big turbines. So
no, she hasn't driven it yet, though, right?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Maybe I missed something. So, yeah, get her on that T53 and let her get used to that, and then turn her loose on the big one. So, well, Kason, thanks for coming on, buddy, on short notice. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Travel, heading to Texas, and we'll see you Friday.
All right. See you guys.
All right.
See you guys there.
A couple days.
Thanks, Kason. So he's had an awesome season, man. It's
yes.
It's
And limited time behind the wheel too, right?
Yeah. Little sister, she wants in on the action. So, and well, she should. She actually comes out and helps out at the pulls and runs cameras and things like that for Full Pull Live. And so she's we have a lot of young female drivers with the Outlaws, and
that's awesome.
Most of them are pretty darn good drivers too, Dan. So,
good
when are you heading down?
I'll be leaving Louisville here on Thursday night, and I'll get down to, I think my flight I get down there about 9:30 Texas time. So drive up there. So I should be up in the Lufkin area by midnight or so. I think 11 or 12, and
okay,
we'll be ready to go Friday, and everything, get interviews done and get all kinds of FOMO going, and we'll get things rolling out there.
Yeah, I seen where Dave Richardson is signed up to come pull his new mod.
Yes, yep. Dave's first time behind the wheel too.
Really?
Dave hasn't driven the light mod yet, so this will looking for an event. He was supposed to run it at the event down there in Elizabethtown, and okay. I don't know what something happened down there. He wasn't there in time, or I don't know what it was, but Chase ended up driving it. So,
okay. What, do you got a second or third with it down there or something? I think.
Yeah, I want to say he was third with it. I think we had Bunnage, we had Sullivan was up there, Terry Feiss, Chase was up. Yeah, so I want to say about a third or so.
Chris Kilbarger had a question for you. We had Logan Stevens on last night from Lewisburg, Kansas, and he was talking about all the tractors that they have there in Lewisburg, and yes. I know they have the old Making Bacon Special.
Yep. He's got the old two-wheeler too. I was talking with his dad.
Oh, really? Super Scooter?
No. I want to say he's got the old Fast Forward. Remember Chuck Chitwood's old? I'm trying to think which one it was though. He had an old two-wheeler up there, and I can't remember. It'll come to me, but I just can't think of it. I remember I was talking to his dad. It was last year. It might have been, late last year. I think up in Nashville, Illinois. We were talking and about all the stuff that he's acquired over the years, and like, man, you got to go check out some of the stuff you got. You got some relics up there.
Yeah, they've got a lot of stuff there. And he showed us a video from just a few years ago running the old Making Bacon Special, which I can't remember what they call it now.
The Kansas Express. Yes,
Wheatland Express.
Yeah, Wheatland Express. Yeah, it's still got that. It's still got that tank on the front.
They took that off. They took it off.
Okay.
Yep. He showed us a picture of the tank where they took it off of there, but they still have it. Chris Gilbarger says, they have the old one of the Pioneer tractors, Dave Archer, and the Black Widow.
The two-wheeler, I remember him telling me about a two-wheeler, and I want to say it was the old Fast Forward Chuck Chitwood's that went down to Richard Popham had it there for a while down in Texas.
Yeah. And
I thought he ended up with it, but the old mind is, it can only hold so much. So
come on, Dan.
Yeah, I know. But as we get older, that
I know. I know, brother.
When they told us that, we're like, yeah, right, whatever. And then here we are, and it's like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, when you go to say something that you thought was there, and you go to say it, and it's like, it's not
especially
there
when you're
anymore.
on the mic. It's like,
Yep, I started taking that Nariva stuff to try to help me out. It's a real struggle, is real. But yeah, the fast forward. Let's see, there was a couple different versions of that, right? Was it like an S10 body, and then
the later one was
Chevy?
the S10. The early one was a 55 Chevy.
Okay.
That ended up actually. I just posted one a couple days ago on Pullin Reference Facebook page. A guy in New York, actually, West Falls, down there in the Joe Ader territory. He ended up actually with the old 55.
Okay.
And he called it. He repainted it after a year or two, and I think Hard to Handle. I think he called it. It was like maroon. And then at the time, Chuck Chitwood built a new one, the new Fast Forward, and that was that poor guy. He had the worst luck of they just got it painted, and it rolled off the truck into the. He wrecked it before he even got to pull it, and then he went out and somewhere and he blew a couple engines up. And then he quit. He actually ended up selling the truck after that. And he's like, I've had it. And,
bad start.
but he was the Fast Forward name is actually had a video store down there in Lafayette, Tennessee, and we're that old where we could remember VHS video stores. You go a rental store. The
Blockbuster Video, and
yes, the mom and pop video stores. So, but yeah, that's.
I wondered about that body because Marty Nees had a 55 Chevy truck body.
Yeah, he had it. Yep.
So, yeah, I didn't download any real good old pictures to try to stump you tonight.
Okay.
I'd take it easy.
I was on my toes. I'm like, Ron, when he has me on here, he's usually got something up his sleeve. So I'm like, you never know. But
no, I read something this week on Facebook. Something about, is Dan Patrick? I mean, literally, is he starting some kind of pulling museum?
Well, he's got a couple now. Last year, somebody I don't remember who it was, but somebody had told me that he was actually, it might have been Dan at the farm show, and that he had found somebody that had the old Warlord chassis, the old funny car.
Yeah,
and us kids from the 80s. I mean, I've got one in the cabinet over here. That it probably will still run if you put batteries in it, but that
I had one.
Yeah, that car put on a lot of a lot of shows, and it'd be cool to and I think it was Chris Kilberger that posted pictures from his open house that Dan Patrick has, every year he's got that open house there in Ohio, and it looked like he had the chassis, and I had heard that he'd found like the rear end, he a bunch of the parts, and he was still putting, so that'd be awesome to see that thing, put back in the Warlord, scheme before they painted it, and that was just such a cool deal there.
Wasn't it called King Crazy before that?
Early, yeah, it was before that, and then it became the Warlord, and then he had the Red Baron at the time. And then that one became the Mongoose. Remember when they had that deal with Coors?
Yeah.
And then they ran with because he had the deal with Play School,
right?
And for the little the toys,
mm-hmm.
and then once that ran out, then I think it got repainted, Coors or something else, or it kind of went down the USA road there with
right.
Was it USA Motorsports? I think But yeah, so that was pretty cool to see. So yeah, I love to see, and it's neat that he wants to put it back together. I love that. So
yeah, those toys are worth some money now. I'm blown away by what people are asking for stompers now, Dan.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see it
on
my top shelf here. If you take a look, I've got up on the top there. I've got the Stomper Bullies. And I've actually got the one's actually from Ed Hart from when Ed was with TNT. That's an original Stomper there. And then I was able to get the yellow one there from another one of the Owensboro guys had down here. They had he had passed away, and they had like a kind of an auction deal, a silent, you go in and put bids on stuff, and I was able to get that. Because I had looked for one for years on that one, and then then the local guy in town had one of them. He put the stickers on upside down, but so. But actually, I was able to find because mine didn't have the little Mike Witt driver, so I had to aim with one. So yeah, so now he's it's got a driver, so that's pretty neat. But my little stoppers, no, they didn't make it. The pull sled, and I don't know what I did with all that, but
I bet at one time I probably had close to 100 of those things, and almost all of them I had modified in one way or another to make more power, because I had friends that pulled them, and we'd have big pulls with them, and actually end up using a train power pack, Tyco train power pack.
Okay.
To power them, and that was 18 volts on a 1.5 volt motor, and sometimes they would blow up. You'd see a big flash of light, and the motor would be done. But they sure put on a good show. I mean, it was better than.
I remember like they used to have big kind of events for them, and it was the adults. The adults were having the pulls.
Alan Sneed.
Yep. Yes, he was a champion, wasn't he? Yep.
Pulling Power did an article on where he was putting like a 9-volt battery in them and modifying them and such back in the 80s. But yeah, it was a fun time to grow up as a kid.
Oh yeah. I still tell people that you could go into the your local grocery store and grab a magazine off the rack that had pulling, and it was like, you didn't see that anymore, and that was good times. But no, ready for this weekend, ready to have a great pull and close out the Outlaw season. Of course, both shows on Full Pull Live, and then should be awesome. I'm ready.
Yep, 6 p.m. Central Time on Friday, 6:30 Central on Saturday. Chris Kilbarger says the super scooter's for sale right now.
Oh, really? Okay, because we were looking for that. Jeremy Krieger and I are avid trying to find old pulling vehicles, and we were looking for the super scooter, but nobody had any idea where it went.
Yeah, the one I'd really like to get a hold of is the old Outcast 2, the Wheeler Riddinger.
Oh, okay.
I'd love to get a hold of that one. I heard maybe it got parted out after they had sold it to somebody up in northern Ohio, and then you know how it happens. They get cut up, and this part goes there, that part goes there. And
I had the chance to talk to his son Mike at the inductions at Bowling Green this year, because the family was inducted there into the Hall of Fame, and had a chance to talk to Mike for a little bit about it. But he didn't have any idea where the old Outcast 2 went to, and that was an awesome tractor.
There was one time there, it was probably mid to 2008, somewhere in there. I actually found Wheeler's number and called, and he had already passed. And I talked to his wife. I think she's passed now too, but she had said that they had sold it to somebody in northern Ohio, was pulling up there with some group up there with the Great Lakes. It's like a Great Lakes organization or something. And then she thought maybe it had gotten some parts got sold off of it or something, but that was a really cool tractor. So
yes, it was. Yeah, that was with the joystick, had the joystick, and it never really got that to work. When one engine would drive one wheel and one, they usually locked them together there so it wouldn't
sometimes I have some old video of it, Dan, and you can actually hear one motor RPM coming down as the other one's going up where he's steering it. He got pretty crossed up sometimes too, but that thing was just a monster.
Yeah, that was those big Donovans, big Donovan power there. That was, that was the go back to the old light mod class. Yep.
So for those outlaws out there that are going to the banquet Saturday morning, everyone is invited to the Holganics breakfast. I think that's at 8 a.m. Saturday morning at the banquet. Get all your information in for the banquet if you're going. Don't forget the I hope I remember all this. Don't forget the scholarships. If we haven't passed that deadline for those. So Dan helped Wheeler's widow clean out the farm. Dan Patrick. Okay. So we're learning stuff here.
Kingston must be near the circle though. Then I'm not okay.
Yeah.
So all around that same area then.
So if you're not going to Lufkin, make sure you tune in and watch live on fullpull.live, the official live streaming channel of the Outlaw Trucker Tractor Pullers, 6 p.m. Central Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central on Saturday. Going to be a big show. Myself, Dan Meyer here. We're going to be announcing together again. It's going to be fun, Dan.
I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait. Can't wait to get down there.
Dan, thanks for coming on, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yes, anytime.
Yes,
you too.
And we'll see you. If not Thursday, we'll see you Friday.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks, Dan. Thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next Tuesday on Outlawed Live.
Time points champion just a few years back, Craig Ulmer, Sweet Pain.
And 86 right now, 3:45 and 86. Here we go with the Kentuckian.